Today is Tuesday, November the 3rd. I am your host, Casey Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. And right now I'm thinking, what happened to my water? I thought I had a bottle of water, and I don't. Okay. I thought I had set a bottle of water down there because I drank my half bottle of water, and for some reason I was thinking that I put another bottle of water down there. I don't have my tea today. I'm actually doing this early because I don't like to have my tea until the evening time, my hibiscus tea. I'm recording early today because for those of you who are listening, you already know I said yesterday that I took the day off from my regular job today. And I'm recording early because obviously I have other things to do. I have other things to possibly cover for my other channel today. I'm going to be on the lookout. But anyways, I digress. I guess I need to go ahead and get to the point on this one. I mentioned yesterday that the situations that people come across when I was talking about parents, you can't hold parents responsible for their child's actions. And obviously there were caveats to that. I'm not going to go through the whole thing of it. If you want to know, listen to the episode. It was yesterday's episode for my daily thought. All right. And I said I was going to talk about situations in this episode because there was something that someone said. Because I told you I love my tarot card readings. And there's things that they say, whether you're into them or not, there's things that they say sometimes that it's like, wow, that's interesting. Just like the comfort and growth are not friends. I heard that on, which you should check her out sometime. Her is Water Star Vibes Tarot. That is her channel, and she's really, really cool. I like her energy. And she doesn't know me. I don't know her. She's not paying me to mention her name or anything like that. It's just I like her energy. But she was the one who had said that comfort and growth are not friends. And that's why I was like, wow, that really resonated with me. And that's why I had decided to do an episode specifically on that, explaining that, so I could speak to it and what came to my spirit. And one thing that was said recently when I was watching the tarot card reading for my sign, and she was saying, and I forgot who it was. I don't remember who it was, but the person doing the reading has said, you have to open yourself up to love. And they were like, try to remember who you were before you got your heart broke. And when she said that, I was like, whoa. Oh, wait a minute. Let me write that down. I was like, wait a minute. She said, try to remember who you were before you got your heart broke. Or broke in, to put it more accurately. And that was an interesting statement. And I thought about it. And for those who know my thoughts on love and everything else, where I've only been in love 3 times in my entire life. I've loved plenty of people, but I've only been in love 3 times. And all 3 of those people are February people, go figure. I did some thinking on that. I thought about the first person and how they weren't feeling the same. Obviously, that hurt. I was like, oh, well, I'll deal with it. Second person, it wasn't really any hurt there because I knew how I felt, but he didn't know how he felt until after the fact, which is usually the case with Aquarians. And it was just kind of like, huh, all right. And then the most recent, which has been going on for years, it's in the cycle, has pretty much finally closed out where we're just friends. And you already know, he came up probably about a week or so ago when I wasn't feeling well, just to keep an eye on me and all that other stuff. And where I would like to believe that we're in a good place, at least friendship wise. Relationship wise, on a romantic level, I believe that cycle has pretty much closed out. I would hope it has, because I don't see anything happening there. But before the heartbreak, I don't know. I was open. I was willing to take a chance. Cause I remember when we first met, cause we met online, is how we met. And I said before, when I first saw him, I was like, oh, yeah, this'll work. And I was willing to spend the rest of my life with him. I've been fine with that because I'm kind of old fashioned, traditional. So yeah, when I'm single, I can be a little bit out there. But when I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship, and that is that's more of my stilo. I'm more into monogamy because I don't like to share. I'm very possessive. So, and I wouldn't say jealous, but I am possessive, where it's like, and not that someone is a piece of property, because they're not, and that's a whole nother episode in itself. I'm just saying from my eyes, from my point of view, I like to know that who I'm dealing with is only dealing with me. And yeah, they can flirt, they can do whatever, but they know where home is at. And they don't cross the line. And by crossing the line, they don't get emotionally or physically or romantically involved with anyone else while they're with me. Because you can cross the line by not even getting physically involved. And that is another show, another episode within itself too. But I digress. So when we met, I was more open then to like, oh, okay. But now, if I were to meet someone, I don't, part of it is, one thing is that I've been so focused on work, whether it's my regular job or doing this and handling these channels and other administrative stuff behind the scenes and preparing to do other things on an entrepreneurial level. The energy that's required for a relationship is extra. And my thing is that I don't want to invest in something unless the odds are really, really good, unless it's almost a sure win. Because the energy that's invested in something, and everything is a learning experience. So even if something doesn't work out, it's still a learning experience. However, I'm just at the mindset now where I'm not looking for the learning experience. I'm just not looking to give my energy out so freely, which I did an episode on that. Be careful who and how you share your energy. I'm not looking to give my energy out so freely because that energy can be used towards something to help me on my ascension and stuff. Not saying that I'm totally blocked off. It's just, it's not the same as it was before, where I was willing to make a relationship or the pursuit of a relationship a priority versus the career and finance and all that stuff. It was up there, but the pursuit of a relationship or being in a relationship took priority over that. I'm not in that mindset anymore. And part of the reason is because of the time that I invested in something that didn't work, even though I learned a lot. I learned about healing. I learned about life going on as it always does. And I learned that it is possible to love again. It's just that due to all of these lessons, and also I learned to respect the power of love. You know, when I heard that song, I liked the song, especially Angela Winbush's version, which for those of you who don't know, Stephanie Mills is known for that song, but Angela Winbush is the one who wrote the song. And Angela Winbush has her version, which I like Angela Winbush's version better. But Stephanie Mills' version is good too. But anyways, when I heard that song so many times, and as much as I loved and love that song, I learned to respect the power of love. I don't want to say feel it, because you could feel it regardless of whether Stephanie or Angela sang the song. But all right. I wasn't able to relate to it as deeply until I personally went through everything that happened. And then it was like, okay, I've learned to respect the power of love. And now when I hear that song, anytime I hear that song, it has a different meaning now. And those were the things that I learned throughout this process of dealing with the person I was with. This, I was, like I said, open. And if someone approached me, and people still do, I would be like, oh, that's great. Okay, well, let's try to set up a date or do this or do that. Now it's, well, yeah, not in the mood. Not in the mood. Yeah, we can set up something in 2022, maybe, possibly, kind of, sort of. Is not where I just dedicate so much energy to it. But when she said, try to remember who you were before, how did she say? Because I wrote it down. Can you remember who you were before you got your heart broken? Or broke, as she said it. And it's two different people, and I can remember. I just don't want to go back to that. I don't. And I know that was her way of saying, hey, the tarot card reader's way of saying, hey, love might be on the horizon here for you. Try your best. Even though I don't like the word try, I'll say do your best. Do your best to be a little more open to someone if they approach you, because love could be on the horizon. Can you remember who you were before you got your heart broken? So that was interesting to me. And when I heard it, I was just like, wow. And then I have to ask myself the question, do I want to go back to being that person? And I can honestly say no, I don't. I believe the core of my heart is still the same, in the sense of once I'm on your side, once I'm for you or with you, I'm with you. You don't have to second guess. It's like, you know how when some people are in relationships, they're just like, oh my goodness, my significant other, I don't know if they're out doing this or that. I'm the type of person you don't have to think about that with me. It's just like, oh, I know him. That's not his stilo. And do you ever truly know anyone? No, you don't. So, caveat. However, I'm speaking for myself. The core of my heart, if I'm on your side, I'm on your side. It takes a lot for me to just walk away. And that core, that loyalty, that love that I'm able to give is still there. Giving that love willy-nilly, being open, going back to the individual, being the person before I got my heart broken. I could go back to that person, and I appreciate the idea and the sentiment that the tarot card reader was saying during her reading. I wouldn't feel comfortable being that person again. Now, some people, they may feel comfortable being that person again in doing that and saying, you know what? I'm just going to let it all hang out, and I'm just going to I'm going to throw the doors of my heart open and let love come right on in. And baby, if that's what you want to do, more power to you. Who am I to judge? It is not my place. The only thing I can do is give my opinion on how I feel about life and how I feel about myself. That is all I can do. And what works for me may not work for someone else, because again, as I constantly say throughout all of my episodes, we're all individuals. But when that question was brought up, it just made me think, like, wow, who was I before I got my heart broken? And then after I thought about it and let it marinate, then the next question became, do I want to go back to that person, being that person? I was like, no, the core of my heart is still the same. I'll still love hard. I will love very hard on the next person. If there's another person, there may not be, because, single isn't bad either, because I love myself. If there's a next person and love happens, I'll love hard, because that's what I do. During the interim, love isn't on my mind like that. Only thing that's on my mind is my health, because after this whole mono incident, 2020, this whole mono incident, after that just took me on a whole nother road when it comes to health with mono. It really, really did. It has. And I'm still learning things. And it gave me an appreciation too for things that I'm able to be here and do this show. I give thanks every day I wake up. But yeah, health, that's up there. The next thing is wealth. Money. My uncle said, money isn't everything, but it sure does grease the wheels. And I say, those who say money doesn't buy happiness are terrible shoppers. So yeah, wealth is up there too. And then of course, family, the relatives that know how to act right. Because I don't believe in that stuff. Just because we blood, we supposed to be close and all that. And that's another episode in itself. But yeah, Those are my things. Love, I'm open to it. I'm not going to say that, like I said, there's a few roadblocks up, but I'm not going to say that if 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 there was something serendipitous, everything was in order and it just miraculously happened where I met someone and they were into me, I was into them, and my intuition was telling me that, hey, you might need to pursue this because, like Haley's comment, it may not come again for a long time. Then, if I see the signs, like I said in one of my episodes, don't miss the signs. if the signs are there and it's something serendipitous, then yeah, I'll pursue it. And after everything that's happened, I'll respect it. But going back to the person that I was before I got my heart broken, nah, I don't see that happening. So anyways, that's all I have for my daily thought. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the show. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I know I say it all the time, and it may not always come across as sincere because when you say something all the time, sort of like an apology, somebody who apologizes all the time, and it's just like, really? And if you've been following the show, you know how I feel about apologies. When it comes to me saying that I appreciate your support and you listening or watching or sharing or liking or commenting or whatever you do, I really mean it. It means a lot. And it's always interesting when I see people in different countries listening to my podcast. It's always amazing to me. So I really appreciate that. And of course, for those who are new, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform, KIRWKC on Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook.com/KIRWKC. If you are watching this on YouTube or Dailymotion, don't forget to hit the subscribe button followed by the notification bell on YouTube. That will let you know when I upload new videos. And that's all I have for you guys. I hope that everyone who's listening or watching, I hope you all have an amazing day. I really mean that. I love you guys. Until next time, be blessed.